All right, for today's lesson, we will be solving multi-step inequalities. So really what this is doing is just combining all the different things that we've learned. So it goes back to being able to combine like terms, solve distributive properties, two-step equations, although they're not going to be equations anymore, they're going to be inequalities. So you might get stuff like this, and we won't solve any of these yet, but you might get something like this, where you have to realize, now it's going to be an inequality, okay, where you have to realize, okay, I have to do any simplifying that I can, okay, which would give us 7x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 10. And then from there, we're going to solve it by doing this two-step inequality, where I get rid of the plus 3 by minusing 3. I get rid of that 7 by dividing by 7, okay. You might even see some things like this, where you end up having to do some distributive properties, all right. You're still going to have an inequality, okay, where to solve this, of course, you're going to distribute and do 5x. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, less than or equal to 25. And then again, once you do your simplifying, okay, you end up with a two-step, in this case it's an inequality, so two-step inequalities, which are just like solving two-step equations. Of course, remembering with inequalities that anytime that you multiply or divide by a negative number, you end up having to reverse that inequality symbol. So that's the one thing that changes. Other than that, all of the rules that we've learned in the past still apply here. Okay? So the first one, I'll do example 1 for you, and then I'll let you try a couple after that. So example 1, 88 plus 10g equals 138. Now, all right, so we're going to go ahead and solve this problem, which is 88 plus 10g is greater than 138. So again, the first thing I always look for is there anything I can simplify? So if I break this into two parts here, I'll look on this side and say, well, is there any like terms that I can combine? And are there any distributive properties? Well, there aren't any distributives because I don't see parentheses. And the 88 is a constant. The 10g has the g. So one has a g, one doesn't. That means I can't combine them. So then I just go back to how I solve a two-step problem. So I have to get rid of this 88. I get rid of the 88 by subtracting 88. That makes them cancel out. Since I subtracted 88 from the left, we are going to subtract 88 on the right, leaving me with 10g is greater than, and 138 minus 88 gives us 50. And then, of course, we can solve from here. Divide by the 10. Now I'm dividing by a positive 10, so the inequality is going to stay as a greater than symbol. Okay, g is greater than, I divide by 10 on the right, and that's going to give me 50 divided by 10 is 5. So g is greater than 5. I didn't ask us to graph our solution, so in this problem we don't need to do that. Okay, here's one for you guys. Example 2. We're going to do x divided by 4 minus 6 greater than or equal to negative 5. Go ahead and pause the video. Try it on your own. Okay, we should be back, everybody. First thing I'm going to get rid of is that minus 6. I get rid of a minus 6 by adding 6. Because a negative 6 and a positive 6 cancel out because they equal 0. The 0 goes away. Since I added 6 on the left, I have to add 6 on the right, making my new problem x over 4 is greater than or equal to a negative 5 and a positive 6 give me a positive 1. Okay, now I have to get rid of the divide by negative 4. Get rid of a divided by negative 4 by or divide by 4. I get rid of a divide by 4 by multiplying by 4. So they slash kill. Multiply by 4 on the right. X is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, and that's all it is. Example 3. Again, I want you guys to try this on your own. So go ahead and pause the video and give it a try. Okay, and you're back here. Now, when we did this with equations, what we had to realize was even though we have two sides of the problem here, eventually I have to get all my v's on together on one side. So the v's are going to go to one side. My regular old constants that I want on the other side away from the v's. Okay, so when I do this, I know that I want to take this 4v and I'm going to move it over so I can combine it with the 9v. To do that, okay, I can get rid of a plus 4v by taking away 4v. So positive 4v and a minus 4v cancel each other out. But since I minus 4v there, I have to minus 4v on the right, leaving me with the problem that 45 is less than, now 9v minus 4v gives me a positive 5v. Now since that's a 5 times v, I get rid of that by dividing by 5. They slash kill. divide by 5 on the other side, which gives me 9 is less than V, or V is greater than 9, depending on which way you want to read it. That's my final answer, so I'll go ahead and circle it. Okay, last one. This is a tough one. Go for it. See if you can test yourself here and see if you can get the right answer. So pause the video. Okay, here we go. We're back. First thing I notice is the distributive property. So I'm going to have to go ahead and multiply this. So the 5 times m is 5m. 5 times a negative 6 gives me a negative 30. And then, again, feel comfortable with rewriting everything. Okay? Now, some of you might say, well, I have to reverse the sign because I did 5 times negative 6. No, that's only when you're actually moving something from one side to the other. So, again, I'm just going to rewrite here. 3m minus 8 is greater than 5m minus 30. Okay? Now I have a choice. Do I want to take the 5m and put it over on the left, or do I want to take the 3m and move it over to the right? I'm going to choose to move the 3m over to the right-hand side just because that's going to give me a positive number to work with. Meaning, I can get rid of the 3m by taking away 3m, so they cancel out, and I take away 3m from the right-hand side. New problem now, so I rewrite. Negative 8 is greater than 5m minus 3m is 2m minus 30. Okay, now I have to get the constants away from the variables, so I get rid of a negative 30 by adding 30. Add 30 to the left. Negative 8, positive 30 gives me a positive 22. There are more positives than negatives, that's why it's a positive 22 is greater than 2m. Last step, get rid of that 2 by dividing by 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11, is greater than m. And there's your final answer. Hopefully you got that right. If you did, congratulations, and you're ready for the lesson. All right, good luck.